Hey there guys, it's Tom from Dolphin Dive Productions. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's another Black Ops 3 video, but it's got a very different tone to it this time. It's a little bit of an angry rant, I'm not going to lie. Some things that Treyarch have done that have really quite worry me. For one, I'll start off with the map packs. Obviously, I got the season pass. It was the first time ever on PlayStation 4 we get the map packs a month early. On the whole, I'm really happy with the map packs until I played a certain map called Skyjacked. Now, for those of you who have played Treyarch games before, Black Ops 2, for example, is the best game that I can think of that had a similar problem to this. What Treyarch have is a habit of, not as bad as Modern Warfare 3, where they literally just went back and took the maps straight from the old games and put them in without any real changes to them. What Treyarch do is they dress up new old maps and put a modern twist to it, or put it in the same environment, the same game environment or the era that the game is set in. For example, Black Ops 3 is slightly futuristic. So if you remember Black Ops 2, Hijacked was a yacht in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean, and you would fight on that big old boat. Now they've put it in the sky, and it's sort of like a luxury skyliner sort of thing. But one of the things that really annoys me about this is that the old maps were good back in the old game systems, the old game engines. By that I mean they didn't have the wall running, they didn't have the boost jumping, enabling you to get around the map a lot quicker. Yes, they made some changes to Skyjacked, like, you know, you can run around the side of the boat, and there's been a hole blown out the side of the boat, so you have to wall run over that. That's fine. But the map wasn't designed to be negotiated that quickly. So as I find to play Team Deathmatch and Domination, any sort of like objective-based game modes, I find that the spawns switch very, very quickly, and it's a lot easier to be, and in some cases can be easier to be spawn trapped, because the enemy can just take you out like they did on Black Ops 2 from like the control tower or from the other side of the yacht, and then the spawn switch like that, and it's really hard to play the map that was designed without wall running or boost jumping originally, and it doesn't make for a fun experience. Now, why does that annoy me? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm paying money for a map pack. I'm paying money for new maps, and yes, Gauntlet, Rise, Splash, brilliant maps, really, really good. All using the boost jumping and the wall running to really open up what Call of Duty can be, and cements Black Ops 3. I think is one of the best, newest Call of Duty games in a long time. But I'm not paying to play old maps. I'm not paying to relive the experience of Black Ops 2. That's something I can do on Black Ops 2 on my PS3. And we saw it with Studio. Studio is another example, is the example I was thinking of on Black Ops 2, where it was just firing range, but they put some different aesthetics on and expected us to be happy with that. I had a go at them now then for that, and I'm having a go at them now for Skyjacked. And the annoying thing is there are so many better maps, the Raid off the top of my head from Black Ops 2 that they could obviously put in there. And it's worried me when I hear myself say that, because there are 3 more map packs to come out. And there are at least 3 maps I can think of from Black Ops 2 that were good and fan favourites. So I'm worried that they're going to do exactly the same again with Raid and a few other maps. And to me, that's kind of cheating us out of new maps. There's no design, there's no originality there. They're just taking something they've already done, reskinning it, and going, there you go, that'll do. And to me, that's not right. Not when you're charging £35 for a season pass. That's what it comes down to in the end, is money, you know. And trusting Treyarch. I mean, Treyarch have quite rightly deservedly so set themselves up to be one of the best developers of Call of Duty in the franchise, from World at War all the way to Black Ops 3. And the reason I say that is because if you remember Advanced Warfare with supply drops, you could get guns that do different amount of damage, accuracy, fire rate, etc., ammo, attachments, and that really got to me that actually it is now genuinely a pay-to-win game. I was very lucky in the first 3 supply drops that I got the Bal Obsidian Steed, and I got the ASM one, whatever it was. I don't even care about that gun, but I got the best one of that as well. But I know friends who put a lot of money into that and didn't get either of those 2 guns. Because of it, they struggled because their guns simply didn't do the same amount of damage as other people's, giving other people an unfair advantage in gunfights, an unfair advantage in multiplayer in general. Now, Black Ops 3 started off doing just skins, camos, decals and things like that, things that you don't necessarily need, things that don't give you an edge. And I think that's really key to remember here. Yes, you can buy it, okay, you can buy supply drops, you can buy COD points to do that, but bearing in mind that if you play online, even for a couple of hours, you can get 2 rare supply drops or at least 6 common supply drops in your 2 hours of playing, no matter, regardless of your skill level. And they do double points weekends on supply drops and COD points, on the crypto keys, weapon double points and points XP as well. So it's not as if they're forcing you to pay to get these. They're not. It's just an option, obviously, that they're going to have. I don't agree with it personally, but I like the fact that you have like a random element to it that doesn't actually affect the gameplay. It just affects how your character can look, because some of these skins do look absolutely fantastic. I've got a psychedelic helmet for my Ripper and it looks like he's tripped out on LSD. It's absolutely brilliant, and that gets me getting the supply drops. I don't pay for them. I had a bit of Christmas money left over, and I had a PlayStation top-up card, so I decided to do a little bit of a video on that. That's in the supply crate open as well. Got some pretty cool stuff. Be sure to check that out. But I didn't have to. It's just that I had the money there. It was already on my PlayStation Store, so I thought, you know what? That's some pretty cool stuff I'd quite like. Now, with the update for the map pack Awakening, I think that's what it's called, they've added in a few extra weapons, which me and a couple of friends who work at Game, we weren't too sure where they were going with this or where they're going to stop, because I've opened up a lot of supply drops and I haven't got anywhere near getting the dart gun or getting the M1 Garand, or I got the wrench, I think it was, but that wasn't one of the updates in the Awakening. You got like the sword. Yes, the melee weapons don't really make an impact. There's no increase in range or anything like that, but the M1 Garand does more damage, for example, than another assault rifle. The dart gun is a silent knife-throwing weapon, which gives them an edge in combat and search and destroy, for example, and can fire across the map and take you out in one hit. If you don't have that, obviously you don't have a gun that fires knives other than a combat axe, but you can fire like 5 or 6 bolts in quick succession, which you can't do with a combat axe. So what I'm really interested to see, I'm quite worried actually, is where Treyarch are going to stop with this weapon thing. I understand bringing back the nostalgia of an M1 Garand is wicked. I love that idea. I think it's a really cool thing. What I'd like to see, maybe, it just replaces the Shiva. Exactly the same stats, but different, like they do with the characters. It just looks different. That's what I would like. It brings balance, and it brings an element of fresh idea to it by bringing back this modern twist on nostalgia. But it also begs the question, why not just make it available to everyone? The same answer for why why Advanced Warfare did different value and damaged guns, simply because they want money from us. And I think that's where Treyarch are going to lose a lot of support, is when they start adding these things in that people really want, that give an edge in combat, even doesn't matter how slightly, it gives them an edge, and then pretty much forcing you to pay for it. Anyway, that's the rant over. Normal service will resume next week. I promise there'll be Resident Evil 5, and of course Fallout 4 Friday is almost upon us. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of Treyarch's moves to add these into the supply drops, and as always, take care, goodbye.